everyone, and welcome to episode 28 of Off the Sprue. In this one I'll be unboxing the Supernova Studio Ninja Airbrush as well as the RedGrass glass palette. Recently I ordered some paint and glue, and I was very pleasantly surprised to find these two parcels in my package as well. Lindy and the team at Supernova Studio generously gifted me with a Ninja Airbrush as well as a RedGrass Games glass palette. Now these items are all available on their website. Do check out their website. They're a one-stop shop for all your hobby products as well as craft and fine art supplies. So let's take a look at these products. First up is the airbrush. Now the Ninja is the house brand airbrush of Supernova Studio. It carries their branding. Yes, I had to do that. It's called the Ninja after all. And the glass palette is a new product. It fits into the wet palette box. Comes in very nice packaging. And I'll be taking a closer look at both these products in this video. This is not a full review simply because I haven't used these enough to really give you a full review, but just some general comments. First up, the airbrush. Yes, it comes in a very nice little box, carries the Supernova branding, and it comes pre-packaged with a 0.3mm needle. You can see some of the features on the back of the box there. I really like this packaging. Let's open this up and see what's inside. Once we remove the carton sleeve, there's a nice sturdy little box. And when we open this up, there's the airbrush. Now this airbrush is very good value for money. If you're new to the hobby and you're looking at purchasing your equipment, this is probably the first airbrush you should buy. This is the nozzle wrench. But for instance, this is a quick release adapter. And this already fits my Iwata airbrush hose. Let's take it out of the packaging. The first thing that I noticed is the weight. This is a metal airbrush. It is not cheaply made from plastic. It carries the Supernova Studio branding on the side. It features a nice big fluid cup. This thing won't come open by accident, most definitely. I also love the trigger action on this. This features the traditional double action trigger, and it's got a nice feel to it. What else is in the box? This is quite a surprise. This is a full set of rubber gaskets. Now, if you own any other brand such as Iwata, you will know that these need to be purchased separately, and they do tend to be pricey. So this is quite a nice surprise to have a full set of replacement rubber gaskets in the box. These are the instructions, just some of the features, as well as a list of all the parts. And this will help us later on when we swap needles on this airbrush. Now for the glass palette insert. As I said, this fits perfectly into the wet palette system from RedGrass Games. Nice sturdy little box, and there we go. The exact same size as this one. I believe this is the light model of the wet palette. When you open the box, there's 4 non-slip rubber feet included. Little bag. The palette insert itself, of course, is made of glass, so you do need to be careful when handling this. But this is such a versatile addition to your wet palette. This can be used for a variety of things, from oil paints, acrylic paints, up to pigments. So a really useful addition to the whole palette system from RedGrass Games. One of the first things I did was to stick the feet to the back of the glass insert. There we go. And yes, this fits nicely into the tray. This is my current airbrush, my Iwata Eclipse. This is a workhorse. The Eclipse is a very popular airbrush from Iwata, and like most Iwata users, I usually remove the back end just to have easy access to the needle. The Ninja will be a fantastic companion to my Iwata. As I mentioned before, it comes pre-packaged with a 0.3mm needle. You also have the option of purchasing different needles, different size needles. And in this case, I added a 0.5mm needle and nozzle for this airbrush, sold separately. This is such a nice, versatile system. You can really use this airbrush for almost anything. To change the nozzle, let's jump to the instructions. To fit another needle, first we remove what is called the air cap at the front. And if you screw off the front section there, that is the needle cap. Remove this and you'll find the nozzle inside. This is very small. And we'll need the nozzle wrench to loosen this up. Be very careful when you work with these parts, and always work over a container so that you don't drop, if you do drop this, that it doesn't go missing. So that's the 0.3mm nozzle, and I'll now be replacing it with a 0.5mm nozzle. This is the new nozzle. Comes in its own little container. This is screwed in place. Easy to do. Use the nozzle wrench and be careful not to over tighten this. Strip the thread, we don't want that. There we go, 0.5mm nozzle. Now for the needle. First we unscrew the handle. And remove the 0.3mm needle. This is the larger needle, 0.5mm. These are actually very well priced compared to other airbrush brands. There we go. There's a protective cap on the front. And this is a very versatile system. The ability to change to different size needles makes this very versatile. It's certainly a trick that my my Iwata can't do, the model that I have. And there we go. We just converted the Ninja into a 0.5mm airbrush. How cool is that? I'll be using this airbrush as a general area coverage airbrush for primers and for thicker liquids in order to save my my Iwata. And just to demonstrate this, I'm going to use some Vallejo Model Air paint. The trigger works exactly the same as with other airbrushes. First press releases the air, and then when you pull back on the trigger, you release the paint. You can see that the paint flow through this is fantastic. Question, can you do precision work with this? Oh yes, you can. Look at that. Definitely an all-rounder. Another cool feature of this airbrush is also the MAC valve on the front, the micro air control valve right at the tip there. This really allows you to adjust the air pressure exactly to what you would need to work with. So you have a lot of control when using this. Same needle, same airbrush. The first job that I tested the airbrush on was on this mock-up of my M113 armored personnel carrier, the project that I'm working on currently. And this is just some primer that I applied to a sheet styrene mock-up of the side. And you can see the smoothness of the primer going onto that styrene is just fantastic. I'm very happy with the result, and this is 80% of what I'm going to use this airbrush for. How's that for smooth, guys? Of course, it'll work with all the existing cleaning tools also available from Supernova Studio, the brushes, the cleaning rods, as well as this cleaning tool for the nozzles. And yes, you can use all your existing cleaning tools with the Ninja as well. In terms of airbrush cleaner, I like using Vallejo's airbrush cleaner. Lately I've also been using this from Medea. I believe this is an Iwata product, simply because the bottle is bigger, you get more in a bottle. And if it's really filthy, I'll use Tamiya's airbrush cleaner. Cleaning this is very easy. You unscrew the tip of the front, remove that little washer there, and just use the brushes and your airbrush cleaner. Very easy to clean up. The rear unscrew is similar to my Iwata airbrush. Remove the trigger, and also very easy to clean inside. Once you're done, just remember to replace that. Very important. Screw the nozzle in place and you're ready to go. So there we go, guys. The Supernova Studio Ninja airbrush. Fantastic addition to my workbench. To test the glass palette, I'm going to use it to apply some pigment to these track bands, also from the 113 build. And I'll be using Vietnam Earth modeling pigment from Ammo MIG. First step is to take some pigment. I'm using a palette knife and just place this on the glass insert. Keep in mind you're working with glass, so be careful when using metal tools on your glass palette. Guys, if you've been following my builds, you know that I love pigment but I hate the cleanup, and really this makes it a lot less messier. I add some ordinary tap water just to mix this into a paste. And just keep on adding water until the consistency is more or less where I want it. I'll be brushing this pigment paste into the tracks themselves with a brush. And at the top there you'll see I added some ordinary tap water as well, just to thin it down. And yeah, just keep going in this manner until the front and the back of the track band is covered. This is a lot cleaner than this procedure used to be. There we go, all these track bands have been covered, and I'm ready for cleanup. Cleanup is as easy as folding up this paper towel. This goes into the bin. Next, the palette knife can go into some water. Clean that off. And this can now go to the kitchen sink. Because it's glass, you can just rinse this off under the tap. As easy as that. Again, guys, this is a lot cleaner than this used to be in the past. I remember that in the past, whenever I used pigment, it would be everywhere on the bench, and that stuff stains everything it gets in contact with. So the glass palette makes it a lot easier, and this is the result once the pigment has dried. So there we go. This is it for video 28. Just a brief overview of the Ninja airbrush by Supernova Studio, as well as the RedGrass Games glass palette insert. Thank you very much to Lindy and the team for generously gifting me with these products. I really appreciate it, guys, and I'll make sure to give you feedback when I use these products in future builds. Do check out their website. They stock the very best of hobby products in South Africa. Excellent service. I can highly recommend Supernova Studio. And if you're curious to follow the rest of my builds, do join me on Instagram.